Okay, so now we'll continue with the session. We'll start a new one. We'll ask the pendulum if the pendulum wishes to say anything. The previous one, I've just put it not to be discussed because it's really not, it was to do with a dream and it's not my life. So it's not my business either. So, anyway, we go ahead today. Now we'll see if the pendulum wants to talk to me. It's 11:45, 11:39 in this clock. Saturday, 12th of April 2025. Somebody's put out a video about Budh Purnima, but the almanac says it is Chaitra Purnima. Budh Purnima is next month sometime. So we're still in April. Budh Purnima is in May. So anyway, we'll perhaps they've done an early session of it. Today's Chaitra Purnima, full moon. We'll ask the pendulum if it wants to discuss anything other than that dream. So, are you with me? Just 1 minute. Are you with me as of now? Now, whatever the dream was, which I have put it up separately, does that have any consequences for me going forward? Does it create any problems for me going forward? Binu was on the phone when I was getting my Aadhaar card done at HDFC Bank. So she said something on telephony, only after which my Aadhaar card came through. Otherwise, 3 times she took the information from me, but was making mistakes or was asking repeated, wanting to fill in the gaps. But the point is, that conversation that Binu had recorded on the phone while the Aadhaar card details were being taken at HDFC, did that have any consequence on me? Will it still have consequence going forward on me in the future? Will that have any relevance on me going forward in the future? Will that thing be something in the past? Whatever it is, will it be something left in the past? So we can just move on to more productive stuff. Okay, that's good. Now, what I want to ask is, do you want to discuss anything on the regrouping of when I regroup with, the core people who I've known in the 70s, whether they are like, born in the same family or they're family friends? Would you like to discuss something connected with it? Would you like me to do a tarot on it? Would a tarot be a better way of doing things? Okay, so I will do the tarot on it. I'll go ahead and do the tarot. You want me to use the psychic tarot? You want me to use the Lenormand? You want me to use the angel deck? You want me to use Akashic Sky tarot? Okay. You want me to throw a few Scrabble pieces too? What I know about Scrabble, what I'm getting about Scrabble is, in Scrabble, more or less, you bring up a lot of past topics. So I'll do tarot because I would like to know the future. I would like to know the future. Can you tell me which is the location I would be moving to? Or where would we be regrouping as a family? Are you able to tell me that? Is it okay for you to tell me that? Where family and friends from the 70s would regroup together Can you give me the location of that place? Would you do so through the Scrabble read? So only for location, I will not be looking for any other information. A place where we will settle after we regroup, that's the only thing I'm looking for, the location. Okay, so I'll first do the Scrabble throw only for the location, nothing else, no matter what. I'll not be looking into anything else. Only names of countries. Names of countries, names of cities. That's all. Nothing beyond it. Okay. Okay, so we're only looking at names of countries and nothing else, or cities. Other than that, nothing else. Okay, from the Scrabble throw. Where we will settle at. Ek. EK is 1. EA. CA. RK. Rat. PR. So this is the PR of some rat who entered our family, either pretending to be Nikhil Advani or pretending to be Ranbir Kapoor, but is primarily a rat. So the PR of the rat. But that's not what I want. What I want is I want the name of the country, right? For whatever reason, they are talking in Hindi. So the word is prakat. We'll move this over here so that it is a little more straightforward. The sun has been falling a little too much. I consider that to be symbolism of myself. But anyway. Okay, I was talking about which country, right? Or I thought crate or crate, I don't know. Create. Okay, so this is just talking about either Akshay Kukreja or Akshay Kumar's PR. I'm not getting into that. I'm thinking, what are the countries possible over here? PAK is what? Pakistan. Or park. Or PARK. Pack our create is what it is saying, but I'm not getting any country over here. The country's name is over here. Which country you are talking or which location you are talking. The full name is over here. Is it Pakistan you are talking about? We're going to move to Pakistan. In 2026, we're going to move to Pakistan. You're talking what mess is in my whole home and in my setup. You're saying who's responsible for it, the location of who's responsible for the mess in my body or the mess in my life. But I'm not asking that question. I'm asking, going forward, are you saying their family from my grandfather left behind in Pakistan? Or what went on to become Pakistan? So there were how many brothers, and one came away to Bombay. The rest still stayed behind and individually grew. So you're saying they're the ones under my body, connected with the Advani family. But why are they hiding in my body? And making all kinds of sounds. Is the Pakistan side of the family. Have I ever met them? Knowing who they are? Have I ever met them face to face knowing who they are? But they've been keeping a watch out for me. They've not been keeping a watch out for me. Then why are they hiding in my body? They are hiding in my body. But why are they hiding in my body? What are they hoping to get? Anyway, in 2026, the country that I'm supposed to go to, has that been mentioned where you say I have to travel overseas? Are you willing to disclose the location to me in 2026 where I'm supposed to travel to? Are you willing to disclose it to me? Is it because of those who have created something who are from Pakistan and they are the ones who decided not to move out of their life? Because of them you don't want to tell me? Is that what you're trying to tell me? That you don't want to discuss it? Hey auntie, uncle, what is your problem? I don't understand. Everyone who took a decision took it and we moved on, no? Those who didn't do well, didn't do well. My dada didn't do well. Afterwards, his children did well. अब क्या सोचना है? She's not willing to give me the location because you are hiding in my body. You are from the other brothers of my grandfather at Pakistan. But what you are hiding under my body for? So strange. Okay, so she's saying she doesn't want to discuss the location because of whoever's hiding in my body and whoever's overlooking my home. Or they are hiding in my body listening to things. I don't know what it is. Okay? So she doesn't want to discuss it. I think this is the real Ranbir Kapoor. Whenever he was caught. That is why she doesn't want to discuss That is why she doesn't want to discuss where we're going. He was beaten up also and was at a trip. With cat. She's going back to that incident where something went wrong when they probably went away abroad for a holiday. They got caught by somebody who was and replaced maybe by the EA, or then the EA did this to them, or they did this to the EA. But it has some connection to Pakistan in some way. He is from Tapaloka. I am not surprised. I told you he's a good soul. I told you he and his sister are both from good lokas. I told you before only. His cousin sister Karina Kapoor and he are good, from good lokas. I told you that before only. The originals as babies, you can make out who they are. They're good, very good souls. So something has gone haywire in their setup as early as when they went for that holiday to the islands. Cat and RK. Something in and around that time went completely haywire. Okay, now I don't want to get into it. She's saying she doesn't want to say the location because this is the kind of activity some people from Pakistan have done. She's also saying that they are hiding in my body. She's also saying they are hiding around my home, listening in. But I'm a normal Indian citizen. So you must not do these kind of things because it is bad for you only going forward. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. We basically are able to reap good things because we put in the hard work at a soul level. We understand half a lie, taking things that don't belong to us, manipulating things does not ultimately serve us. So we don't indulge in those activities. In that, God gets happy with us, and so He supports us. That's the secret to our success. RK Tapa Care, RK Tapa Car E. Okay, but I don't want to get into all of this. The location is not here where 2026 we move to. So we get rid of this, let it be. We go ahead and do the shuffling of the cards to see what she wants to say about in the shuffling of the card. Are you going to tell me about 2026 without giving the destination, location, place? Are you going to, through the card, show me what it is I can expect when I go abroad? Are you sure I'm supposed to move overseas from India in 2026? Are you talking to JAYA.ADVANI? Holding the pendulum, sitting at J1801 Purva Palm Beach, Bangalore 560077. You sure you're talking to me for moving overseas to the east part of the world from India? We'll be going to the east part of the globe from India. Will be going, okay, you say no. Will we be going to the west part of the world from India? Will we be moving to the west of the world from India? Will we be traveling alone? Will I be traveling all alone? Will I be traveling with more than one person? Should I do my own visa and passport and just travel alone on my own for a global trip? Do you suggest I do that? Okay. Will I be traveling with shapeshifters of any kind? Or people who have taken other people's identity? Will I be traveling with those kind of people? Will I be traveling with people who have an identity that they were born into from the womb without grabbing other people's identities or then messing around on the back of it? Okay, so I'll go straight for the tarot read. That tarot read, you're going to tell me what to expect in 2026 on the back of the travel. When we travel, what to expect on the back of it. I'll take out 3 cards each to understand what to expect. Okay. So we'll start with the psychic tarot first. So Shirdi Sai Baba, please give me guidance of what to expect on travel going forward. Hopefully with people with their face as was when they were born from their mother's womb. No replicas and no duplicates. We will not be taking reversed cards. If there is anything negative that needs to come out, let it come out from the card itself. Please give what is it that 2026 on the back of traveling out of India for JAYA.ADVANI. What are the events expected on the back of the travel to location outside India in the year 2026? Okay, we're a little slow when it comes to shuffling. Let's just put this out. So Shirdi Sai Baba, for the year 2026, what can we expect? What's coming our way? 1, 2, and 3. So the first one is sacrifice, the other one is partnership and alliance, and the third one is moving on. Okay, that's what it is showing. First one sacrifice, second one is partnership alliance, and the other one is moving on. Okay, so it is sacrosanct with what we have found out. We keep it away, then we take the next deck. I think we'll take the book out for interpretation. So that is the theme. Then we go for Lenormand. In Lenormand also we are asking the theme when we move outside of India for JAYA.ADVANI, as has been shown by the pendulum. What is it that we can expect in 2026 on the back of moving out of India next year, as suggested by the pendulum? What events can we expect on the back of that travel? Okay, give it a good shuffle. Dearest Shirdi Sai Baba, dearest cards, please give me what is it we can expect on the back of some travel uh, outside of India, what to expect in return. What events will happen with us. I don't like things falling out, I'll choose my own. Okay, in the year 2026, what are the events that are expected to happen on the back of travel outside of India for Jaya.ADVANI, who's the tarot reader right now? Okay, so Shirdi Sai Baba, please say what are the events that are likely to happen on the back of foreign travel next year, as said by the pendulum, whatever the pendulum was indicating. This one is to do with the bear. Okay, card number 15. This has got to do with the sly fox. And this has got to do with decisions and a stairway, coming to a portion where once we cross and move over, then we get rid of the sly fox who is forever looking at the strong foundations of our family and family network, trying to get rid of it. The sly fox all the time has been attacking the strong foundations that we have built for ourselves. So moving away from that, then we come to a point where we leave that fox behind and move on to things that are better. Whole point is because he's chasing tail and I don't know what he's trying to do. Comes from Pakistan. But we don't know why they are doing that. We can't understand what is the problem. Not sure. It may be because my grandfather came pre-partition from Sindh to Bombay 4 years before partition. Maybe somebody in India is not happy with that, or maybe it is somebody from over the borders of today that's not happy with it, or maybe it is a bunch of people who create confusion both in Pakistan and in India because they didn't get what they wanted to get at the time of the division. When India and Pakistan were Hindustan, they didn't get what they wanted. So maybe they started creating problems for everybody, no matter which side of the border you're at. And there are people who wanted Hindustan to function the way it was functioning before. That would be a third component of who creates these problems. Okay? After all, they seem to want things, what they consider that they didn't get, what they thought they should have got in those days, they didn't get it their way. So there is a group of people who want to get something their way, which for all logical reasons, it didn't really work that way because the majority probably felt that it wasn't the right way to go. But they refuse to understand that that's not the right way to go, so they force issues on people. Now, the ones who decided that's not the right way to go, had they gone ahead with, let's say, not going, the decisions they took in those days brought prosperity at least to India. So you can say it was intelligent thinking in those days, so the Indians got prosperous. Or those who, just went with that thinking, they got prosperous. The ones who are forcing the issues come from a place where they're not happy. And when they get prosperous, it is mostly on the back of wrongdoing. But what they don't seem to understand, the core is, if you do wrong, you cannot get right. You put rotten seeds, then you cannot get good flowering. That they don't seem to understand. This cloning business and all is all bad karma. It is bad seeds. For insisting on something that doesn't really work, and then wanting to use any measure to get what you insist you want, but it doesn't work for anybody. So that could be the problem. Now, whether it is a bunch of people who didn't like what happened at the division in those days, that's the lot that insists that they want whatever they want, whichever way they want, and have done lots of wrong karma and forcing things and enforcing things on people that ideally it's not their job to. Or it is somebody who's on that side of the border who takes advantage of the situation and creates the confusion, or it is somebody from this side of the border who looks at everything, sees where his benefit or her benefit comes from, confuses things, and then creates the confusion, creates the mess, and then from it extracts. This could be any of these three parties. Whatever it is, the seeds sown only are wrong. So no matter how clever you think you are, ultimately it goes against you. Okay? Now, going ahead with the travel to a foreign destination, we have to have peaceful existence on earth, which is good for everybody. Cleverness actually doesn't help, and especially when it is detrimental to people's well-being. Now you should use your So Shirdi Sai Baba, please say, if next year we have to travel, how would that travel work for us? Better to divide this way, since these are a little tough to shuffle. Okay. How would that travel work for us? So how would the travel outside of India going forward work for JAYA.ADVANI 2026? Whatever it is the pendulum is talking about, it's talking about moving overseas from India in 2026, but how would that travel work out for us? And not for Katrina, we're asking for Jaya. Katrina, so please say for JAYA.ADVANI. JAYA.ADVANI के लिए एड नहीं है, अडवानी है. क्या तू एड बने? वे अडवानी, Kani Advani's daughter, first daughter. Mr. Hukumat Rai Advani's granddaughter. Not the first granddaughter or the first grandchild. Must be the fifth one. पांचवा वाला है हम. Alright. Fifth grandchild. So anyway, Shirdi Sai Baba, please tell me, what is my travel going to be next year all about? Please say what to expect on the back of it. It's 8 of air, whatever that stands for. Knight of earth. Life experience, which is Archangel Chamuel. I'll take 2 more cards over here to make it 5, since we discussed being the 5th grandchild of Mr. Hukumat Rai Advani. Okay. 4 of fire. Finally, the 5th one, 5 of air. Okay, so these we'll read later on. Come to Akashic Tarot and let's see what Akashic Tarot has to say. We're talking about the travel next year, expected 2026 for JAYA.ADVANI. And what to expect on the back of it going forward. We would really like these cards to give us direction for the future. So we request Shirdi Sai Baba and the Spirit who is guiding us through the pendulum, through this card deck, to guide us. That's only clearing out old energy to bring in the new. So please give guidance for our travel next year. 2026 is the year we're supposed to move to a place which is outside of India. So if that event is to happen, and that also with people who are from the 70s who we've known. So if that is the case, then please give us some direction what's to happen on the back of it. The youngsters of the 70s. Okay, so we've got over here, we've got 4 of roses. We've got clearing the way. And we've got summer winter. Okay, so clearing the way is very evident. Stuff from the past getting rid of, and then 5 of horses. Okay. I think since we got 5 of horses here, I take this as what we need. This is probably a very important event that happens. Once this happens, what do we get? Can you give me through, once that is gotten rid of, like once that is taken care of, what is it that we can expect? We'll take 2 cards from here. 1 and 2. So we get the journey 7 of roses and we get 2 of horses, the willow. Okay, once this is out of the way. We'll go with the Angel Answers Tarot because I think that's important too. So Angel Answers, in regards to this situation, what would you like to say? For 2026, I'm being told that we have to travel abroad for something. But at the end of the day, is there anything Angel Answers wants to say in regards to the situation? Is there anything you'd like to say about the situation? It says take action. In the near future, the event is to happen. No to a year from now. No to a year from now. This came out together, so I don't know. It says no to a year from now. So take action in the near future, no to a year from now. I'll take one last card. Shirdi Sai Baba, no to a year from now is a little confusing. So it says ask for help from others. Okay, that's what it's coming to. So I don't know if you said keep eye or something of that sort, and we got no to a year from now. Because you've been pushing agendas that are actually not yours. You've been stealing left, right, center from our setup over here in India, and creating lots of problems for us for no rhyme or reason. Then also there's an infusion of cloning and all that. Just any arbitrarily anywhere, duplicate, get rid of the original, put in whatever you want. That's not okay. We have our own upbringing in Bombay or in Bangalore, in key metro cities, the Indian style. We have our own understanding of each other. We have had the similar kind of upbringing and similar kind of schooling, similar kind of social network. So when there is something looking the same but behaving differently, or the energy is different, we almost immediately figure it out. But we can't understand why. Then you have changed so many people in our network, you make stories about us. Your PR people, where you are infusing them into families where you have gotten rid of the original, they make their own stories. And most of those stories are rubbish. Petty, small thinking with no real exposure to anything. So it's a little strange for us actually. And I've been grappling with this for now some time. I feel ever since sometime 1996, I have a feeling. Okay, so we'll read this one step at a time. Okay, so we will start reading. The first card that I got was Sacrifice. About when we travel abroad, what is it all about? and on the back of what, and what to expect in the year 2026. So anyway, sacrifice reads, it's card number 12. It reads as powerful achievements are usually born as a result of great sacrifice. The card represents self sacrifice at a time that when you should look around in life and see what needs to be released, surrounding and letting go. There is more room to receive. The rewards for this in transformation, wisdom, gratitude, and enlightenment. So, when you do sacrifice, you can get transformation, wisdom, gratitude, and enlightenment. This card signifies that there is a situation happening or about to occur in life, and you cannot control the outcome. This would be a good moment to pause, rest, have patience, reflect, meditate. It would be wise to stand back and learn to look at the events with a more understanding, intuitive eye. Try to view people, issues, and problems from a different perspective. If you can achieve this, it will have a profound effect on soul and life. The sacrifice card can also symbolize a period of transition and change. The solutions you seek are slow to come, for it could be necessary to live into the answers. Accept the things you cannot control. Heal and leave the past behind. Move towards the future. Watch for new doors opening and paths that are being shown to you. It is similar to the hangman, but the point is, hangman primarily is about things being in limbo. This is not about things being in limbo. This is about transformation coming, circumstances being beyond the control, enlightenment and transformation, wisdom, gratitude, enlightenment on the back of it. Slow transition that does happen. Solutions are slow to come. So you just go with the flow, and you have to leave the past behind, and new doors will keep opening and new paths will be showing themselves. That's what this card is standing for. Next we have the question of moving on, which is again kind of saying the same thing. Okay, the question of moving on. You're about to embark on a much needed journey that leaves the past behind. The card lets you know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It signifies that the time has arrived in which a difficult cycle in life is coming to an end. In the traditional tarot, this card implies traveling or going forward, involving crossing water or even moving abroad. Calmer waters are ahead, and with all the lessons you've learned from the past experiences, you are approaching the period of growth. You are so much more stronger for it. The healing process is underway, and now you can set goals, desires, objectives to secure a more positive and successful future. Because the mind is more settled and less worried, synchronistic events will bring the right conditions and introduce people into my life for my highest good. Then is partnership and alliances. So should we put it up like this so it is seen, or let's put it this way so it can be seen. This is probably easier. Okay, all of them. Partnerships and alliances. The meaning of this card denotes that you are now starting to see fruits of the labor take seed and blossom. There may still be a lot to do, but watch out for synchronicities, which could bring opportunities to form connections or unexpected alliances that could create something new. These could assist you in gathering resources for future projects. With all partnerships, always remember that there has to be an even exchange of energy. If you give too much, whereas your partner gives too little, it will leave you feeling energetically drained and will cause potential disharmony in the union. There must be an overall balance within the alliance in order for it to work and blend together for optimum results. This card reminds you that success comes in many forms, even from the most unlikely sources. Have an open mind when listening to others. Okay, so this is making sure that there is a balanced partnership and alliance between people. And there involves moving abroad, moving on, and it is like a sacrifice. It's the solutions are slow to come. So if we take this and we look at how these cards fell. These cards primarily spoke about take action in the near future, no, a year from now, ask for help from others. Primarily, what my reading also was telling me, what we will not be moving abroad alone. There is a community of us connected with the earlier years, cousins, brothers, sisters, family friends, extended family friends. They are the others. You spoke about me being what? Keeper of you. No, I don't keep you. I live off wealth earned by business by my father, not your bloody handouts, nor stolen wealth. If you've been injecting into the Indian society and buying off people at the bottom of the pyramid in a very desperate place in the 70s, 80s, more in the 80s and the 90s, the bottom of the pyramid, and you've been a naysayer in my case, and there are fools who have believed you, or then as luck has it, they are the later generation. You changed things to suit your own agenda, that also at the bottom of the pyramid, which is not my society. So we were very happy living our life amongst our own people, while you were very busy giving the bottom of the society your own story, which if you look at the pyramid, it is the largest base ever. So you played it really filthy. Point is, if you think I'm a keeper and a caretaker and all that bullshit because you're a piece of shit, then the answer to you is no, because we got no from a year from now. Because you've been playing filthy for the longest time. And when you've played filthy, you have played it also in those sections of society that frankly we have no connect with unless they're working in some capacity either at our home or in other corporations, or then primarily not our social network. There are people who work at our homes or in the offices, or then in, let's say, our network's offices. You use them completely. Then you have cloned many people in the pyramid, and then they became the naysayers and the people who do all the PR and forcefully want to change society to suit your own agenda. But if you if you sow seeds of the kind you sowed, you can never get good fruit. You will stamp on your own stomach in the future. And perhaps the angels and the gurus and the upper realms know what you've done. They want to avoid it for people who have not contributed to that mess and want us to be pulled out from your mess. That could be a reason. Okay? Now, take action. In the near future, there is something to happen. We're supposed to say no to it. Because if you realize the card which was talking about solutions which are slow to come, it says in the immediate future, it's a no. But 2026 is in the next year. It is not now. It is some time away. It is in and around, if not exactly a year from now, but it is in and around a year from now. It is not now. It is not the near future. The near future would be like a month's time, a week's time. If you remember in my pendulum also, it said somebody first will present themselves, that is a no, not to go with that person. Then there is somebody in our own setup who's a good person, connected with our friends and family from the 70s. They are more likely to be trustworthy. So it's the same thing. Okay? If we take this, how it fell. This fell how? First was the bear. What does the bear stand for? Bear stands for power, strength, health, protection, finance and food. Which means our family, as I said, my family earned our bread and butter and cream and cheese on the back of sure hard work connected with business. No foul play. You entered our homes when we were minors, according to me. I could have been 13, 14 at that time. You played filthy on the back of minors. The reason you didn't turn us out onto the streets is because my father was clever enough to buy the assets directly in our name. So where you will fool around? What you could fool around with was the shares, which you did. All the while giving us a bad name. जहाँ पे खाओ वहीं पे थूको, ऑल दिस इज माइन. तेरा ग्रैंडपॉप का गुड कर्म है ना, इसलिए तू इतना अच्छा कर्म करता है छीनने का और झूठ बोलने का. तू तो बड़ा गुरु है, राइट? यू विल बी एन एजुकेशनिस्ट, टीचिंग व्हाट? लाइक द गुरु हु स्टील्स ऑन दोज बाय गलीज, दोज रस्ताज ऑफ बॉम्बे और पाकिस्तान. कहाँ के हैं तुम लोग? व्हाट यू आर? You get happy when you are doing 420 activity. तुमको खुशी होता है वो टाइम पे. You'll educate Indians. You'll educate through PFI the youngsters of India with those kind of shitty activities. क्या joke है? You'll break this country also. In fact, I feel from the 80s you have played such a strange game with this country. You have literally all our alliances. You have knocked them off one by one. Everything surrounding us. Our allies who would have supported us, you knocked them off one by one. You have destroyed Japan also and other countries also which are not aware of it. Now you've gone for America and Russia. Once you do that, तुम्हारा सबसे बड़ा enemy जो इंडिया है, तो आएगा इसी देश के लिए. This is why even my reading had warned by a side, Bangalore in the Scrabble. It is not warning you, it is just forewarning you, and that was also the bio war. I am telling you, just don't give a reactive measure. If something is showing very dirty, it is not just an STP issue, it is not just a water issue. Please talk to the Indian Army, talk to the police, make it a case where even rock, one way or the other, somebody in the raw comes to know. Taake it is not just a mundane issue, this is a very serious issue. Let them do the forensics on it to find out कि ये कौन से source से आ रहा है, or you will not be able to win it. You are the last hope actually telling you. क्योंकि जब ये आता है स्पोक के साथ हर चीज़, वो सोचता है he has managed to destroy everything. Now he's coming in for the kill. What he doesn't expect is where he's going for the kill is forewarned. They have understood where the problems are from. You also understand he works on a blueprint. You also understand this is technology based. It is some architecture put in the past. What the rules and exceptions don't understand is you behaving in a different way from what they expect you to. You can win it. You definitely can win it. If they think it is save the best for last, फिर अगर तू है last लेकिन तू है bestest से bestest, then why can't you win it? You can win it. By turning tables in a different way. From what? It is only technology. So it has a preempted response that it expects from you. You do it differently, you won it. And in that you can probably then help everybody else he has destroyed in the past. You can help them get back on their feet. Because let me tell you, in the past, if Germany took some decisions which were not good for them, They suffered a lot on the back of some poor decision taken by them. Same with Russia. When we come into a human birth, it is okay to make errors, but we always have somebody around us who didn't make those errors, who can lend a helping hand. And so what errors were done in the past, it can be rectified with the help of others, and then we can stand back on our feet. Yes or no? So that's what happened in the past with Russia, that's what happened in the past with Germany. That is because there was so much available in other countries wherever they naturally got help from, to put them back on their feet and then to develop economically. So if today it is coming to a time when this guy has gone destroying everything in stealth mode, once he has managed to get what he has planned in stealth mode, he will be coming for India. He'll probably play the most dirtiest game ever. He, she, it, them, and technology. He'll probably play the dirtiest, filthiest type of game where he will spew his nonsense on India. But if India is prepared, the way in which we're just explaining it to you, what are the likelihoods of where this is coming from, they have to overturn it. I'm sure there are enough people here to understand it and know how to turn it over. Because if nobody is left in the world who can stand back on their feet, then of course it's a sinking ship worldwide. But you don't want that, right? Given the past experience and how you can save the sinking ship, you have to bring in prosperity for all, not devastation for all. As I was saying, in the case of Bombay, even if somebody is not earning that much, he can treat himself to a vada pav, to a bhajia pav, something he wants, some outside food, that keeps him also happy at a low cost. Somebody living in America, if he can't afford the American goods because it's too expensive, because the cost of production is too high, then stuff coming in from China, it is feeding the Chinese stomach also of those who are contributing to manufacturing those goods, exporting it to a place like America or Europe or Australia or New Zealand or even India for that matter. Not everybody can, afford expensive stuff. But to keep people happy, when people are able to dip into their own pocket with their own earning, limited income, but are able to purchase stuff that they can legally afford because it is lower cost, then that keeps the crowds also happy. Otherwise, what is the agitation? That they are looking at only a little cream of the crowd able to afford good things. Most of the crowd can't afford it. In fact, there you'll have the masses killing those few on the top who can afford everything. And they will be very unhappy, the masses, because they cannot even afford the 99 cents, $1 item. And their homes, they are not happy that it is not running. So there is that Maslow's theory that their needs are met. When they want to treat themselves to something extra within their budget, they are able to do it in their own budget. If you're going to create not understanding how thriving economies function, it becomes a win-win for India's population, that lot which wants to buy goods which are cheaper. It becomes a win-win for that in China who's producing it. It becomes a win-win for the entire transportation industry, the courier industry. It becomes a win-win for everybody who's employed along the process. So when you are trying to stabilize and standardize everything economically, then it becomes a lose-lose, because only one person has all the money. He's going to be giving the beggars who are going to stand with their hands and palms out for the universal income. You think everyone is beggars? Some of them could earn, even doing base of the pyramid, bottom of the pyramid jobs, earn more than what your universal income handout is to each and every one of them. You are understanding? They may be more capable, and if the choice is you don't put heavy tariffs, taxes on people's consumption, basically you are only the bad one who's promising good things and one very bright future in the future, thinking everybody is fools. So you are a no good do-gooder, understand? And you have fought with my family, you have destroyed my family and my family friends, their entire network. with this filthy play of stealth mode only. So you are not, yes, it is identified what you have done. Filthy means filthy. Stealth mode, filthy. And whoever you have used, you will kill them only first. Okay, you are a filthy, fair weather friend. Horrible being. Okay? And with no brains. That's the best thing. You are uneducated and you want to be the educationist. Ab socho. So anyway, coming back to this bear structure. Okay, why I went on this barrage? Because my background is a good one. My father did everything. Like him, his friends and his family friends did everything. His own family, brothers, sisters and in-laws did everything for their next generation. Our family got affected stealth mode by those who are no good. They only grab, lie in stealth mode and create problems for everybody and the network on the whole. So you have to be very careful of them. Okay? That's it. No matter what they promise you, you have to use your common sense to see whether that is viable or not. And then see what their own background is. Even if they are hiding under something else, if they tell you to do the wrong thing, so read whatever your scriptures are, which tells you what is right, what is wrong, and then decide whether this person who's presenting himself as a gentle lady, gentleman, heighty lady, whether her values are even saying that she comes from noble bloodline. Then follow, not otherwise. Okay, so anyway, what does this bear, not boar, it's a bear. What does the bear stand for? Power, strength, health, protection, finance and food. The bad side comes out when you see negative cards around this card. A polar bear is a fitting symbol and it has great dignity signified by this card. Whether it be read as an authority figure, a protective mother, or purely as strength, the polar bear is the most powerful of all the species. Furthermore, its color is symbolic of pure spirit it embodies. The bear can relate to a person who is in a position of power in the business world. The bear can also be matriarchal. In China, the polar bear is known to represent Russia. The bear may also be a symbol of officialdom and brute force. This card could also be telling us to push something through sheer force. An interesting combination would be the bear and the flowers, an iron fist in a velvet glove, for example. However, next to the bear, unfortunately, the next card that we got was the sly fox, who looks back at the bear. Okay, what does this sly fox stand for? When I am not your job, I am your red flag for some deviousness going on. So there is somebody who is pretending to be powerful, a business magnate, shapeshifter, clone for the original, but is the sly fox. You have to be very careful of them. I am telling you, this is why I told you even before. क्या करना है? You dip into the old scriptures to figure out what is appropriate behavior and what is not appropriate behavior. तुम्हारे पास सबसे richest man earth का भी आवे, लेकिन वो तुमको ऐसे चीज़ सिखावे जो तुम्हारे detriment के लिए है, उसका सुनना नहीं है, simply because he could just be a con artist who has stolen somebody else's identity, or somebody who was very powerful. And he's teaching you all the nonsense. He's lying through his teeth, hiding behind the identity of somebody who was very well reputed. Do not go for it. That's what I'm telling you. It can be a PM. It can be a shapeshifter for a PM. It can be the president. It can be anyone in the ministry. It can be an actor. It can be a business person. It is somebody who you trust as a figure you dip into for guidance. Do not fall for it. This is what it is saying. This card is saying that only. Okay? It is also coming for me at a personal level. What is it coming to? For me, what is it coming to? take action in the near future? No, because there is a shapeshifter who could present themselves. They could be very looking like they're very well settled in life, but they could actually be a clone for somebody who did the hard work. They got rid of him, the clone came in, took over his assets, and now wants to present himself as whatever. To him it is a no, no matter who, no matter what. No matter who, no matter what, it is a no. Because in all probability, it is this who was gotten rid of. This guy shapeshifts for him, and he is actually this. So a no to such people. Yet again, it is synchronizing itself in the same manner. Okay, with the same answers. Okay, so the fox. When I am not your job, I am the red flag for some deviousness going on. Look around in your circle and in your hall. I could be planning your fall. I am the master of manipulation and I am going to fool you all. So, what did I tell you? The cult figure, the original cult figure could have been removed. In his place, the clone comes in, the sly fox. He uses the reputation of the original to guide the masses, but that is wrong advice. पर at the end of the day जो एंटी गॉड है वो तो वही है ना. मैनिपुलेशन, डिवियसनेस इज हिज वे. वो कभी सीधा सीधा नहीं करता है, हमेशा बहुत मैनिपुलेटिव, डिसेप्टिव है. यू नस नस पकड़ के, नॉट द नर्स बट नस 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 को पकड़ के. Always remember, whether rich or poor, if you are a noble bloodline, you will never do what this chap will do. If you are born in this, you will never be able to be born in a place of power by birth, or then build from humble beginning as a noble person with good karma to huge institutes, which is what noble people do. Their journey is noble not only in this birth, it is noble in many births, and that is the reason why they earn good karma. So destiny also supports them. ये तो है, what do you call it, black sheep. तो इसको छीनना पड़ता है, because he is for many janams he is always waiting, और जो कुछ भी करता है doesn't come out for him. He's like the black sheep, so they know he's the black sheep. So now he has to pretend to get that position which he's been waiting for. Plus souls that don't earn very well, क्या होता है, they have a longer waiting list before they are allowed into a human form. So when they come to earth, they need to make the most of it, live life to the fullest. How the ex-husband's clone probably was talking. I want to live life to the fullest. हम बोलो तो starving child है. Somehow I don't feel I have to live life to the fullest. Life is good. We got it now. If we don't get what we want now, it's probably for the bestest. Whenever next we get our birth, we will see what we get. We don't need to grab. We don't need to live life to the fullest. We don't need to grab things that are not ours. Lekin the ex-husband's clone probably felt he had to live life to the fullest. It's what even Akshay Kukreja said. I want a piece of everything. Why? You are a starving child. Your mother is big in the banking industry, na? So you want to grab a piece of everything for what? You are also connected with very poor ethics. You are the snake also, born in the year of the snake. You are born on the 31st of a month, which makes you number 4. आंख मिचोली कंजर्वेटिव मुस्लिम्स के साथ, वो भी ऑस्ट्रेलिया और न्यूजीलैंड के हैमिल्टन में, ऑर्चर्ड पार्क में. Your mother is in the banking industry. Your best friends are in the higher ups in Google. So what all you can't do, keeping DeepMind and mixing it with Google's other assets. And any which ways, when it comes to Brin, it comes to Page, my reading is to saying they are no more, long gone. Along with Bezos. फिर वो the founder's assets move to criminal Rio entry. Pretending to be, but is not. Is this actually? Then he starts one new topic. Founder बेचारा बोलता है, भैया, giving you everything, you come to work but think every day is the first day at work. Please be productive. नया जो आता है और बिलियनियर बने, है तो ये बस फेस चेंज करके ₹10 बन के ये बने, इसको निकाल के फिर बोले इट इज़ वेरी इजी टू बिकम अ बिलियनर. The man who's the founder puts in the hard work, says whatever it is, treat every day as your first day and make it productive like it's your first day every day in work. At Amazon, when the shapeshifter comes in, sly little fox comes to eat the booty. Hard work done by somebody else, founder also somebody else. Now little greedy fox wants to get rid of founder and family. उनको भी टाटा बाय बाय, राइट? आंख कितने बड़े, कितना खाएगा पता नहीं. तो he says what, it is very easy to become the billionaire. Now these are little signs you come to know what the red flags are, what you should watch out for. That is only the stat. How he uses it in the coding, barcoding, QR coding, products, kind of products he sends into people's homes, connected to the SATA drive, connected to the association, connected to the dots, connected with आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस. घर घर के अंदर घुस के वो क्या क्या चेंज कर रहा है, ओनरशिप पे ये किसी का भी गेस है. फिर उसने बैंकिंग इंडस्ट्री में भी जादू चलाया है. यस, यू नो, you don't know, you do your research and find out. And he's so stupid, he thinks that he has set tone to the next 400 years. सोचता नहीं है कि आत्मिक रूप से बेवकूफ़, जहाँ पे तुमको नर्क में जाके मरना है, आत्मिक रूप से nobody can stop that. And when it comes to the will of God, in the Brahman being 60%, vis-a-vis the little dot in the Brahman being earth, you being part of 40% of the dot in the earth, or represented by the earth, when 60% of the lit realm wants to kick you out, it will kick you out. Nothing will stay. And you as an Atma with such poor earnings, tu jayega tere maika for the longest time to come. फिर वेट लाइन में रहो, कतार में वेट till you get the next form. Arey, you know they have messed around. I was telling you, don't go with religion. Don't listen to them when it comes to religion. Don't listen to them when they're trying to divide you on religion. No, Baha'i is not a religion. You are born in your religion. Hindu, Muslim, Catholic, Christian, Parsi, Sikh, and whatever else there is. No, Baha'i is not a religion. It's a false religion. Confusion for those who want to do the wrong activity and mess with the mind. You can be an atheist who doesn't believe in the concept of God. So what I was telling you, don't be fooled by these people when it comes to language and religion. And the Muslims also, I told you, were fighting amongst themselves. The 3, 4, 5 different types of Muslim groups, communities were fighting amongst themselves. ये काम है एंटी गॉड का, ट्रिगर करता है हर किसी को. तो you must not get trapped. No, you must not get trapped at all. What is the example? If the anti-god was Islamic also, or the anti-god was Hindu, the anti-god was Catholic, the anti-god was Christian, you come to know that he has no religion, because he didn't even spare the king's daughters, the princesses. That was the work of the anti-god, not of the father. You should make sense of it. If you think it is the Hindus, then the Hindus have suffered a lot in their own way. The Hindus are primarily very tolerant. They don't speak about their problems. हर घर के अंदर कुछ ना कुछ है, but nobody will ever talk about it. I am doing something different because it is on the guidance of my guru that I have to do this. But under normal circumstances, nobody will open their mouth even to, it is considered very poor taste to openly discuss like this. So everywhere there is a problem, कोई बात नहीं करता है. But if everywhere there is a problem, you must understand it is the work of the anti-god. So this is why you must not divide yourselves and give the anti-god the upper hand, which he is always provoking you, poking you to make sure that there is dissent. In that, once there is dissent, he will send his own people in it to make further dissent into it. So don't allow it. Okay? There are various ways. If something you don't like, you genuinely don't like it, you're fair not to like it, but there is genuinely a way how you can circumvent it without actually getting to a fight with anyone. Very calmly, peacefully you can keep yourself happy also, and keep them also, let them not know. Just move on. That will make the anti-god fail at what he's trying. And hopefully the authorities will parallelly have worked out a plan, and a successful one, where they catch him at his own game. That's the most important. And all his weapons also then destabilize it, figure out what is it that where all the cloning has happened, and then of course see how it should best be dealt with. The founders had their own family, originals, who would have all been disinherited. By whom? The anti-god. Represented how? Somehow like this. Okay? So when I am not your job, I am the red flag for some deviousness going on. Look around your circle in your hall. I might be planning your fall. I am the master of manipulation. And I am going to fool you all. Craftiness is my fame, and sneaky is my game. In the original Game of Hope, it is written that the cunning fox leads the player astray. This is the trickster card of the deck, and its presence brings cunning and plotting. For good or ill depends upon its position. The fox here looks back upon its prey. This is the prey. He's looking back on family, security, structure, bread, food on the table. Everything good. Strong foundations, family networks. Perhaps a cockerel thinks he is the only one awake so early. The cockerel is here in the back. Small little tiny thing sitting over there. Here, this is the cockerel. Okay, that's the cockerel. This one. The fox has prepared his roost though, and is sure to get the bird. At the time of the conception of the Lenormand deck, the popular tale of Renard the Fox. These collections of tales depicted Renard as a false prophet. Okay, it depicted him as a false prophet, and many traditional interpretations of the fox card still carry the sense of false gospel. You took out the topic of Baha'i. Na? Baha'i is not a religion. Baha'i is not a religion. It is meant for those who didn't earn good karma. How you misuse the concept of Advait and you justify stealing in the name of standardizing everything for the good of everybody. That's bullshit. Stealing is stealing, grabbing is grabbing. No matter how you want to put it across. So, these collections of tales depicted Renard as a false prophet, and many traditional interpretations of the fox cards still carry a sense of false gospel. So beware of trickery and deception. The fox in the Lenormand symbolizes these traits and more. Beware of the charmer who makes you smile. All is not as it seems. जो दिखता है वो है नहीं, और जो है तुमको दिख नहीं रहा है. बहुत careful रहो. The fox next to the flowers could warn of deception and flattery. Be even more wary if it is the heart, the skith cards that come into question. In our Lenormand, the little way of reading this is deception and flattery leads to a cut up heart. So you have been warned. In the case over here, when it comes to the bear, it is talking about power, strength, health, protection, finance and food. So the negative side of it comes out when there is a bad card near it. The polar bear is a fitting symbol of dignity. It could be an authority figure, it could be a mother, it could be strength. The polar bear is the most powerful of all species. Color is symbolic of purity and pure spirit. The bear can relate to a person who is in a position of power in the business world. The bear can also be matriarchal, coming from the mother's side. In China, the polar bear is known to represent Russia. The bear may also be a symbol of officialdom and brute force. This card could also be telling you to push something through sheer force. So he wants to push an agenda by sheer force, and it is got to do with something that was in an authoritative position from the business world. A good being, because there's purity attached to the original. A person of dignity with finance, who provided us strength, health, protection, and food. Somebody who was a very good human being. This fox has been fooling around with that setup. Okay? Anyway, going forward is the card of choice. Making sure we understand who this fox is, who will present themselves in this way, and how to deal with this. Okay? This deceptive, false prophet kind of person. How to deal with them. Once we move, we will have to take a decision on the back of it. Decisions and choices is what I offer. Alternate direction is what I augur. I speak in multiple and double. And when I'm in a relationship, I could be trouble. There comes a time when one needs to make a choice of going one way or the other. Neither way is right or wrong, but only one way should be taken. In the reverie, we have steps that take us upwards and onwards towards the point of deliberation. Stairs and steps are symbolic of ascending to a higher place, a much better place, where once you are through the doors at the top, it leads to the stars, and then it is possibilities that are infinite. So this is again a big jigsaw puzzle which needs to be sorted on the back of somebody coming forward. Whether to head out with them or to refuse them is the big challenge. However they present themselves to us is not who they are. They are deceptive. Okay, so anyway, coming down to over here, the willow was the last of the cards. So this is the final outcome. Not the first card, but the final one. A big beautiful willow tree stands in the summer sun. This stately tree is strong, flexible, and the card upright is telling you that you are too. The willow spreads its roots deep and wide, creating a strong foundation that is capable of standing up to anything. Now is the time for you to stand tall and feel the support of the earth beneath the feet. It indicates a time of calm, so enjoy the peaceful energy. It signifies a time of power, perfect for reinforcing the foundation of work, family, and spirit, and in the depth of the belief within the self. Just like the willow, you will have a peaceful strength drawn from the waters of the soul and extending through all of eternity. Stand confidently in your own truth. Take the actions that support growth of all things wonderful in life, and you know you are powerful. Take a deep breath and feel yourself plant energetic roots through the bottom of the feet, moving down to the very depths of the earth and tapping the resources that are needed. Notice the strength that you feel rising up from this profound sound, a source of energy. So what did I tell you for those who are stealing? Like the fox for the polar bear. है तो sly fox, पहना है कपड़ा पोला बेर को निकाल के. When you sow seeds of that kind, but the universal energies in the entire universe know who you are. You cannot get away with it long term. On the back of Akashic sky records, where you have sown poor seeds, you cannot get good flowering. That's all I wish to tell you. Okay? So we can assume that it is somebody who is of a very bad, poor atmic journey through many lifetimes prior to this lifetime, where that person was born in lots of poverty, stress, poor upbringing, poor surroundings, and he stole from others who were born in a life of dignity, a life of authority. Even if they started from middle class, humble beginnings, they grew into great power on the back of doing good karma with sheer hard work, and then became the polar bear with true hard work, like in the case of Bezos. Now, those people were also not spared, because the sly fox, given the habitual traits through many previous births, and then an accumulation of bad karma, then the source from where they come at the lowest realms, they know that before they are able to pay off their karmic debts, it's going to take many lifetimes. So when they get a chance to come to earth, they take it as a breather to live life to the fullest for this one small span of however long they can stay here before they go back to their home in the afterlife. Right? So anyway, deceptive as shit, pretending to be authoritative, and pretending to be dignified, places of dignity and authority. So anyway, we stay in our own power. That's it. Okay, if we go to the first card, I think it was to do with Four of Roses, the views of ego. Take this, because this is the final outcome, that we stay in our own strength. This was the first card. Okay, it's Four of Roses, views of the ego. Three people stand together before a full-length mirror. The man in the center gazes keenly at himself, and he seems to be looking at his reflection with a superior air. He is the sole reflection as seen in the mirror. This card shows that there may be thoughtless selfish. There could be a thoughtless selfish person in my life, whether it is love, friendship, family, business relationship. The person is self-absorbed and makes plans only in terms of how everything affects him or her ultimately. Now, you could have lingered too long, repeatedly giving this person, even though you haven't received much from this person in return. You've tolerated the dismissiveness because you kept hoping things would get better, and perhaps you were too afraid to step away. You are now being called to be aware. This person is unlikely to change. You may be delaying the inevitable. Take an honest look at the mirror and see how staying in this kind of a setup affects your future. Okay? Then comes the journey, which is the Seven of Roses. A seaport teems with activity as cargo is loaded off and on to many ships. Two women on a small tender boat are on their way to a great ship that will take them on their journey. Two men with their trunks and cases wait to follow. This card shows a time for a journey, a move, or a relocation. You could be taking work or creative endeavors in a whole new direction, whether figuratively or to a new industry or literally to a new city. However this journey occurs, it is sure to take you to new places and greater opportunities, although it may require leaving something behind. and something that is safe to you otherwise. This is not a time for staying safe in the harbor. It is time for finding and exploring new worlds, so do get packed. Okay? Then we had the five of forces, summer to winter. So warm weather may be going to winter climate. This seasonal cycle card reveals how best to spend the energy at this time. The beautiful sunlit sky of summer overlooks farmers working hard on the growing crops. Summer is a yang time of great activity, so this is your notice to get going. Action is an important part of the cycle. It can take many forms. There may be something you can do to accelerate the professional life. It could also be a good time to take steps towards the personal goals. Perhaps get more exercise, plan more social events, and start fun activities you've been wanting to do. You could also reflect on what action or perspective attracts in or enhances life, personal life on the whole. The card tells you to consider what needs to be done and then go for it. The cycle is a good time for creating a smiling, self-loving energy and project it outwards for the world to see. Also, don't be surprised if a trip is coming your way. This card implies movement of some kind, so you should move with times. Let's hope this is the right card. It is the five of forces. Okay, so it is actually very positive card. When I saw summer winter, I didn't think that it would be a positive card, but apparently it is going to a positive space. Okay, it is going to a positive space, leaving behind people who have been tolerated for a long time, but they are not good. Okay, they have been misusing a lot of things and pretending. They basically connected with the false prophet is what I feel. Okay, so anyway, journey is good. It goes to a better place. The journey moves on to a better place. This also actually is clearing the way. That is what we got as one card, so that we can stand strong. Here also we had the sun energy, right? The willow being very strong, getting vitamin D probably, or getting lots of strength through natural resources, standing strong from the roots being good atmic energy, probably good karma sowed, so that you can have a good strong tree. From the top, sunlight also is falling. So primarily clearing the way comes to getting rid of things connected with tolerating people who have been very self-serving. Also, they have been egoistical. They are also false prophets, fooling a lot of people. So that is probably the clearing of the way, so that we can be in an energy which is summery. It is fruitful, getting rid of winter, moving to summery thing. It requires a journey, and also it is good karma sown, no false prophets or tolerating people unnecessarily, thinking they're going to change, they don't. So that's clearing the way. Okay, so moving into a time of summer, as well as good sunlight, good energy, and standing tall as a tall willow tree. Clearing the way, a man and a woman take their carriage down a trail that cuts through a forest and continues to a beautiful home at a distance. A large downed tree, so a fallen tree, is before them, blocking the path. However, the young man carries an axe and will clear the way. This card is a strong signal. It is now time to take significant action to remove the obstruction in the way. It could be the personal life, a relationship, work, or with a creative project. You are clear-headed, and so be sure to temper the action with calm and forethought. That's for the general public. जो एंटी गॉड है, false prophet है, who wants to trigger off all kinds of emotions in people and come in the way of your earnings. Your priority is to earn no matter what your vocation is, chosen or whatever it is, circumstantial. You can always work around it. But if you give him a chance to win, then there is no vocation. Then forget about moving from one vocation to another. So don't play into him. Also, he has jabbed lots of people in the tin places. So your own thinking, you will have difficulty connecting with your own thinking. He will send the brain signals to you and trigger you for no rhyme or reason. But you must, I don't know how you are going to come to a conclusion that no, earning the money is the most important. Everything else is a digression, and that digression he wants you to do, because on the back of it he will further digress you. Right now here there is only one log. What is that log? Putting strange thoughts into your head, pulling you away from the actual core issue, which is earning your money with your vocation and having the choice to move around. Once he gets you to digress, instead of removing this log, if this man goes to kill this woman and fight with this woman, in the meanwhile, the anti-god would add more logs and fill that whole thing with log, making it an absolute roadblock. So you don't want that to happen. You need to work together, get rid of this and get rid of him. Not your co-passengers who are journeying through life with you. You are understanding? वो स्लाई फॉक्सी है, उसका जो आंख है तुम्हारे जो रोजी रोटी है, घर बार, हैप्पी फैमिली, उस पे ही है. उसको कैसे तोड़ना है वह वही करता है. खुद को वो प्योरिटी का एक पता नहीं क्या प्रेजेंट करता है, और हर टाइम लेट्स से डिविसिव थॉट्स दिमाग के अंदर लगाता है, विच मीन्स डिवाइड एंड रूल. तो लोगों को कैसे डिवाइड करे, ऑन what फैक्टर्स टू डिवाइड पीपल. Then when he has digressed people and divided them, he goes in for the kill. Shown this way. This is the roadblock. If these people start fighting and don't use this carriage to move ahead, they will be busy fighting. This also God knows what he can steal from it. Here he'll add more roadblocks. They are too busy fighting. They don't realize what's happening. Is the end story. But that's what he wants, which you don't want to fall trap to. Okay? The card is a strong signal that it is now time to take a significant action to remove an obstruction in the way. It could be the personal life, it could be relationship, it could be work, it could be creative project, but you have to stay clear-headed and temper the action with calm and forethought. हर चीज़ के बारे लॉजिकली सोचना पड़ता है, लेकिन अगर इसने लोगों को जैब किया है, लॉजिकल थिंकिंग विल बी ब्लैंक्ड आउट. और जो सिग्नल्स बोलो अनरीजनेबल अनवारंटेड फीलिंग्स को ट्रिगर करेगा लोगों के अंदर. अब अगर टिन्स में किया है, कैन यू इमेजिन व्हाट विल हैपन टू बॉम्बे, 52% ऑफ बॉम्बे एंड वॉट एवर इज द सेटअप ऑफ बॉम्बे. इफ दोज पीपल आर ट्रिगर्ड फॉर नो राइम ऑफ रीजन, they have lived in harmony for so long, but suddenly if they are triggered, what will happen? There will be massacre. तो जो इलॉन यूरोप के बारे बात कर रहा है, actually compared to Europe where there are many places where houses are far apart, most people are living okay, तो वहाँ पे massacre क्यों होवे? Many things over there, empty lands and empty tracks and empty castles, तो वहाँ पे massacre किसका होगा? लेकिन अगर मैसेकर होवे, won't it be in populated areas where disparity is a little more, and if in the tin people have been jacked, then what do you have on your hands? Most likely that's the hint according to me. First Delhi and Bombay, the two shops that are going to be set up. Okay, you must be clear-headed and be sure to temper the action with calm and forethought. If you are too urgent or excitable, you will waste energy and also cause damage. On the other hand, if you are too gentle and cautious, you won't clear the way completely. So you have to be determined, you have to be balanced, you have to be clear-headed, and you have to be strong as you work to remove the obstacle that blocks the steps. With time and attention, the way to the dreams will be open. According to my understanding, this jabbing जो है, if you want to control it, you will have to probably deal with the telephony issue along with the internet broadband. And even if it takes some kind of forced action about Starlink not being brought to India, you will have to do that. The triggering of whatever it is jabbed into the human being is connected with technology. How exactly does he connect to the brains of people? Is it the IP address, or is it telephony? Is it an SMS, or is it a phone call? Is it just plain word? But word also on the back of what? You have given me power out how many times? लेकिन जब तुमने किया, पूरा बिल्डिंग का पावर ख़त्म है, लेकिन टॉक और नॉनसेंस टॉक और हमारे बॉडी से आवाज़ करना, ये तुमने तो बंद नहीं किया था उस टाइम पे. यू वर स्टिल एबल टू ओवरराइट इट. द होल पावर हैड गॉन इन दिस इंटायर सोसाइटी, which means the internet was no more, telephony was on. Yet you were able to play the lift shaft sound very loud, along with the bells and along with everything and lots of useless talk too. How did you do it? Our whole power was off. The backup power also had not come at that time. How you did? So you have to figure out where is the source coming from. Otherwise you will have massacre in those populated places of where Sai has already given the warning कि ऐसे कर्म घटिया जो हैं उसका जो फाउंडेशन लेइंग है वो ऑलरेडी हो चुका है. So you better be prepared how to circumvent it. It is probably got to do with not allowing the brain signals to be connected to by an outside source. That's the only way. What does it require then? What does it? You'll have to cut off. You'll have to cut off the signals to the brain. So what does it entail? You will have to have a very proper infrastructure in place so that their food and clothing, their food doesn't get cut into. Because for you to sort the matter out, you will need help from everywhere, of those who are on the godly side of things. One, to keep them going, those who get affected, so that their homes don't come to a standstill, they are able to eat and drink for however long it takes you to calm the situation down. Parallelly, you will have to find where it is coming from, so you can catch it, the signals. तो दोनों चीज़ करना पड़ेगा. Keep the people also calm, let their homes run, cut off the signal, which means it is connected with telephony towers and broadband, Wi-Fi. Hopefully उसने sneakily reardo entry से Starlink already नहीं लगा दिया है, with his direct connect to the shapeshifter in the government who may not be who he says he is. Hopefully that's not happened. Anyway, you will just have to keep all these different permutations and combinations in mind. Then not to mention about the bio war. Bio without the tech, but war. That's another thing. Okay, so this was the first card, this was the second card, this was the third card, this was the fourth card, and this was the fifth card. This is how it played out. You know, in the bio war, he will not even look at borders. Okay, this is how it played out. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. But what I just understand is the self-serving person who presents themselves as things, many people have tolerated them for a very long time, lekin they're always destroying things for people. And in some cases, if you take it to the sly fox, though, hiding and pretending to be things they are not, grabbing other people's hard work, other people's foundational success, both atomically as well as in this one birth, and then jumping into that skin, being the sly fox, pretending to be the bear, and then spoiling it for everybody. So one has to get rid of that, move on a journey. We come to summer, leaving behind winter. It requires clearing the way, not fighting with each other, keeping calm, keeping clear thoughts, being clear headed, and then being the strong willow, because the seeds sown when bad seeds are removed, then the seeds sown when they are good, then you can be the willow in sunshine. So very good forward journey. Okay. Okay, so anyway, we will start with, I don't know if Archangel Chamuel was the last one we got. So we'll start with the Five of Air. Five of Air is primarily saying an unwise choice. Learn what you can from the situation, review everybody's motives. So if you realize, the first time also when we got two things. One that has to be refused, one that should be accepted. Two choices, one that has to be refused and one that has to be accepted. So anyway, Five of Air, the situation hasn't worked out the way you'd hoped, but you can try again. The power is in not how all the chips fall, but how you handle yourself moving forward. You now feel the cost of the venture is too high. Carefully evaluate the way events have transpired in order to gain valuable lessons for the future. Someone in the situation isn't coming from a place of integrity. That means again there is the wolf energy over here. The desire to win is so strong that the individual will ignore other people's needs. Review everyone's motives, including your own, and do what you can to foster a win-win resolution. Okay? And over here it says the additional meanings of this card is unwise choices, a desire for revenge, thinking only of oneself, and gloating over things. So the one who watches my house plays bells from under my hands, connected with Pakistan in some way, needs to win at any cost. There was one version of my father who said I have to win at any cost. That would have been a shapeshifter of my dad, 2013-14 sometime. That's one choice. Probably he'll try to mess things up. He has habitually done it for the longest time. So he will try to twist things. But neither he nor his setups in India are to be even remotely trusted, whether it comes through the form of a mother or so-called cloned mother. Yes, matriarchal. Kerala society is matriarchal, no other society. And I am not a Keralite. Explain to the rest of them. not mine. It's not acceptable in my family. I'm a Sindhi Amil. Don't mix it. You come rear door entry shaking hands with God knows what kind of nefarious people. Then they teach you how to clone. They don't even leave their own princesses in their Dubai. So what values, what quality, what atomic quality, then what profits? If cloning is the name of the game, so you can become an ashram's big guru. Get rid of the ashram's big guru and become the guru yourself. But what the original founder ashram guru will teach, the manner in which he will actually leverage his ashram for influencing the crowds, and what a clone will do is completely different. Better still, you're this dance drama company of how many clones for one identity? You had a merry ride at other people's assets. Then you went for the soul and the karmic currency. Next is 8 of air. Okay, so what does 8 of air stand for? Confusion, feeling helpless, the tendency to see oneself as a victim, being afraid to take action. But no, I don't think so. I just say that here, if there is deception, one just has to identify where it comes from and then make sure that one does not fall in line with that, learn to recognize it and move somewhere else, or learn to cut it off. You needn't stay in your present situation if you are unhappy. Although you feel there is no way out, look again. There are plenty of possibilities for freeing oneself up from the situation in a healthy, harmonious way. See, over here also saying don't fight. It is saying be balanced, clear-headed, take analytical decisions and take a balanced viewpoint and be harmonious. First, though, you must feel more confident about the abilities you have, believe in the self and keep the thoughts positive as of now. The key to freedom and success at this time is to see the truth of the situation and then act with faith. So trust that God has it. He is the one who's going to be guiding it, and He will be ensuring that the appropriate measures are taken. Okay, so it says, it is only an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. Okay, an unwise choice, learn what you can from the situation and review everyone's motives. Because in that, apparently the false prophet also who runs the show is hiding over there only. Yes, you know who he is. Even I know who he is. We also know who his partner is. We also know who their only son is. We also know what his only son has done. Kira, son of that chap who has shapeshifted as my father and his great holy mother from great unholy land. Kerala and Maharashtrian combination. Useless as hell. Then comes the Knight of Earth. Loyal, dedicated, honorable and kind. Time to buckle down and get things done. Honor the commitments. A guardian angel. So somebody who is of appropriate background, appropriate DNA, appropriate alliance. Not the spokes in the wheels these fucks have been putting for the longest time. Manipulating situations like there's no tomorrow. From the longest time possible. Cheap as hell. Growth only on the back of poor seed sown. One step forward, a zillion crore steps behind is what I'm assuring you. Without my losing my cool, without me being dishonorable, with me being only honorable, being clear-headed and letting divinity take care of the process. बहुत लंबे समय के लिए जो अब आना है. तुम्हारा जो आत्मिक कमाई है तू खाएगा और बहुत लंबे समय के लिए. The three of you. Useless as hell. And don't curse me. The minute you curse me, I come to know I bite the side of my tongue or the side of my mouth. So don't do that. You've done a lot of it in 2006, 7, 8, 9. But that was the time you were destroying things in the background. Cheap as hell. So don't do that. हाँ, कीला भी हमारे मेन डो के पहले वहाँ पे इतना बड़ा कीला लगा दिया, पता नहीं क्या काला जादू करने के लिए. God only knows what all these people have dabbled in. Nonsense means nonsense class. Useless. Okay, so anyway, come to the Knight of Earth. The situation is it is time to get things done. Leave the planning stage behind and take action. Honor the promises and commitments. Attend to the details and be thorough. People, someone you can expect who is loyal, dedicated, dependable, well-trained person who does an excellent job over time. A nature and animal lover who may also be a vegetarian. Detail-oriented, diligent, thoughtful, honorable, kind. Additional meanings of this card: renewed motivation, increased abundance, business travel, a guardian angel. Okay. 4 of Fire is the next card. It talks of contentment, peace and abundance, a happy home life, and the successful completion of a project. You worked hard and now are being rewarded with contentment, peace and abundance. The freedom and success has provides you feelings of satisfaction. You safely navigated your way through the obstacles to a place you can feel proud of. Matters at home are rewarding. Someone may be getting married or planning to move in with a partner. Peace and harmony have been established, and now you seek stability and commitment. Additional meaning of the card: a milestone event in the career, a successfully completed project, counting the blessings, feeling elated, engagement, marriage or honeymoon. Okay, so that's also travel. It also goes with the partnership and alliance card. And finally, we have life experience. A significant life event is what it says. A powerful revelation that leads to change. Time to spread your wings. Okay. You drew this card because a recent event has been your wake-up call to make some life changes. This may be a new revelation or something you've known but have been procrastinating about. Now you've realized that this situation can't be ignored and the action is necessary. This is a moment both of freedom and awakening. The way you see yourself and the world has forever changed, bringing you growth and encouraging you to spread your wings. Allow these new insights to motivate you to embrace the path of your heart's true desires and intuition. Archangel Chamuel can help you find whatever you are seeking, including the right relationship and a divinely guided career. Call upon Archangel Chamuel and then follow your intuition. So the funny part is, didn't we get Archangel Chamuel in one of the other reads? Strangely enough, didn't we get Archangel Chamuel somewhere else? Okay, I don't know. I thought we mentioned Chamuel earlier also. Or it was in somebody else's read we got Archangel Chamuel. Let's see if we can find Archangel Chamuel. Okay, so anyway, I saw Archangel Chamuel. I thought I saw it in someone else's read, but it is coming over here only in this read. Okay, so I don't need to read further than that. My understanding of this read is discretion, clear headedness, calm, being harmonious within the self is required to take a balanced, appropriate decision. There is going to be the sly fox activity to redirect good energy so that they can keep cross pollinating. You're desperate to cross pollinate? Good DNA, good birth, good locus with poor, ill fitted, ill earned locus, poor births, poor DNA, poor locus from where you habitually come from. You want, no, it's not Advait. It's called stealing, it's called manipulation, it's called deceit. It is called a false prophet. You did Bahai, right? So that is false prophet. Don't steal, don't talk about Advait. That also on one hand you're talking Bahai, other hand you're talking about Advait. Don't mix the philosophies up to confuse the world. You understood? You want to know what Advait is? Open up the scriptures, read the Purans, read the Upanishads, read the Bhagavatam. Divide your population to take small, one chapter reading and then discuss it amongst yourselves once you have understood it. Do that through. It will become interesting also, and understand concepts for what it is, not what you want to twist it to be, because you are selfish. You are the sly fox, grabbing all the established good, hard work of good people. And you have gone for them individually as well as the corporations. Don't do that. Okay? Because you are being worked by the false prophet, and the false prophet is nobody but the anti-god who gloats. They are threesome. They gloat. I don't know if it is a mother, father and son team. Useless. So don't play into their hands, because finally they will use you up to the time you are usable. Once they get what they want, they will eat you faster than when they ate others using you to help do the job. If you can understand what I am saying. You understood? Okay, so I'm going to close this session over here. Okay, and 1 minute before I close this session, let's just clock the time. It's 14:06. I'm going to have lunch a little late, and we're closing the session on the 12th of April 2025 at 14:06 in the afternoon. The location is 560077. That's outside, so that we don't have squeaking, squealing little shits in my ear talking lots of nonsense that they keep talking. Okay, have to have more fans because it's pretty hot. Okay, so we close this session. I would like that idiot in my ear, squealing, squeaking, anti-gods, domestic help called Rajkumar, not to squeak and squeal. He's not welcome in my setup. You understood? You work for the shits, but useless crap. Don't you dare hiding bloody domestic help who has worked at my home on a pay. Useless shit connected to that shit that runs your brother, who will be sitting like he's sitting in an Indian style toilet hoping for somebody to call him for a job, is what was shown to me in years to come. He's not as bad as you are, but you squealing little rat shits. Don't ever squeal in my ear. Understood, you bloody hijra class, which makes even the hijras look more manly than you are. Curly head gollywog. Be careful.